Okay. Wowie wow. This is the eve of the new moon, um, right before the Chinese New Year, into the year of the Wood Dragon. So this is really exciting. I've been feeling this energy coming in, and at the beginning of the 2024 on the January 1, I just wasn't feeling it. I was like, nope, I'm still in a cave, I'm still hibernating, maybe around the Chinese New Year time for me. And it's been feeling that way. I feel tonight this move to connect and to really like honor with you the passage into this next cycle. And the Wood Dragon energy is really, to me, this is embodied Kundalini. This is the frickin' Kundalini year, y'all. Pluto is deep transformation in Aquarius now, this brand new cycle that we're dipping into hardcore this year. And this whole conversation with you on my channel is always about life force management, life force energy, Kundalini, Shakti, the awakening, the second puberty, maturation of the soul. That's always what I'm talking about. So I do bring some astrology in, and I can do your natal chart, but most of my conversation is always going to go back to life force energy and Kundalini. And this is the year, guys, when the wood energy is the most embodied. It is the most like us, the tree, standing and embodying with the earth and the water, this very like, clay physical form, and then this dragon, this life force, this mystical creature. But that's also what our Kundalini is. It's like comes in and is often depicted as the serpent or the snake, which the dragon is a relative, right? A flying serpent that breathes fire, so this evolution of that. Gosh, I was gonna try some of YouTube's lovely copyright-free background music for you all. Anyway, I'm here in a corner. I'm going to talk about what I'm doing over here in the corner. I'm going to talk a little bit about this next Wood Dragon year, and I'm going to tie it all into the collective Kundalini awakening process. Those of you who've worked with me in the past know that we work on your life force energy, and I have sort of put myself forward, as this is my jam, but this is really my jam. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about my own story in that with Kundalini and my own initiation, and then I'm just gonna see what wants to come through on this magical doorway, which is also it's a very shamanic passage with Pluto and the Wood Dragon. I'm thinking of on the river Styx, and he who takes you to the underworld, this wooden raft and this mystical realm, and you're in your body. It's like not just the souls, but sometimes we in our body, we go to the underworld, and we aren't staying there because we're still embodied, but now the whole collective is going through this doorway. Aquarius is all of us, it's humanity, it's next level, guys. And I've been so anticipatory of this, so I'm going to talk about that, and in no particular order. Well, let's start a little bit with my story. So one profound initiation for me, and this also is not chronological, my awakenings have been multifaceted at many points in my life, when an occurrence would happen and I would have a bigger vision shown to me of, existence, right? And of course, through my perspective, through my eyes, and that's all I can share with you is my eyes. But one experience was in a plant medicine journey, and during that journey with grandmama, as the natives often call, the entire time, all that I could know was myself as Kundalini, and my body just moved in this rhythmic flow, and it just taught me, and it just came into me like a serpent, like a vine, like a dragon. And I was that wood dragon, and it just breathed through me, and my life force essence felt so fluid in me. And so that was one of my profound initiations with the Kundalini energy, our own. And what am I talking about? If you're new to this channel or you're new to this concept, welcome. I do have some basic introductory videos on the channel, and also some instructional guides on how to work with it, some common questions that come up. I have a whole series that I haven't completed yet. It's basically the first chunk of the book, The Biology of Kundalini by Janet Dixon. And I'm reading it and I'm having conversation with you about it, and so that you can get a little bit more into the understanding that this is not just a woo-woo topic. This is not just some idea that somebody had. This is actually what's going on, and it's been dubbed by the ancients the Kundalini, which is the awakening of this life force in every cell of our bodies. In every cell, guys. And the brain, when it gets saturated with this, certain parts of the brain that we haven't had access to, we begin to have access to. And we begin to become aware of things that we weren't aware of previously. And it's a rare person who can transmit that to somebody else. And so we've often gone in the past to those who we consider to be the sages and the seers and the gurus and the masters, who have had the capacity sometimes to transfer their vision to you. And that's why we adore these masters and these teachers, and we go to them, because there is an awakening that happens in us when we are around them. But with Pluto and Aquarius, God of the underworld, that transformative part of us, that deepest part of us, wanting to go now and initiate humanity in this awakening, and depict it as the underworld is perfect, because you've probably heard Dark Night of the Soul a bunch. But that is often what a Kundalini awakening, that is part of a Kundalini awakening. Now, often it is part. Let's just be real. Like, there's no getting around this. I still haven't got the music to go. I pushed play and nothing happened. We all get to go through this process, this awakening of the life force in us. And luckily, it follows a pretty basic channel in the spine. We all have the channel, we all have the spine. In some texts, it's called the rod, hold to the rod. That's my interpretation. The iron is the blood, and the oxygenated blood, and in that the prana, the life force energy. So as we come back to this center, which this channel, all the practices here are to bring you back to the place where the masculine, feminine, or the positive and negative polarities of you, the lower consciousness, if you will, lower not bad, just more dense version, where we're aware of these duality concepts. This all gets a new standpoint, a fresh perspective with an awakening. So humanity is going through this expansion of perception, which of course began with the whole 2020 and pandemic thing. That was an initiatory process for humanity to kind of see where everybody was in themselves, with themselves and with the world. And this is part of the dark night of the soul. This is part of that beginning process. I need some water here. Oh no, you're gonna hear a Facebook ad. I'm so sorry. I mean a YouTube ad on here, sorry. Okay. And we do thank all the sponsors who have great products they want to share with us. Thank you so much for letting us see you. Okay. So humanity is going through this. And as I was saying, the pandemic, this has all been an initiation. Let's see if this is great. I did not figure this out ahead of time. I'm so sorry. It was just like, I turned it on and I was like, cue music. This is kind of how this energy is right now. It's just like, do this and like this and change it like this. And Aquarius is Uranian, is very like surprising and off the cuff and unexpected. Okay, this is unexpected. But Uranus is in Taurus, and Taurus is grounded and real, and it's bringing it into your home. It's bringing it into your physical. And so that kind of unexpected, unique stuff is needing to find a way to be embodied, and it's now doing that in a very transformative way into humanity. Pluto and Aquarius. So the Wood Dragon is this beautiful passage totem of the underworld passage. And you hear the term slay your dragon, you know. That's also connected to the Kundalini story. That's also part of which you can find in this channel, and also in one-on-one sessions with me if you need specific help or workshops. And I'm going to start doing a lot more, I feel, to say right now. I'm having locally this week, tomorrow actually, on the actual day of the Wood Dragon, a couples Kundalini class, and these are phenomenal, you guys, like absolutely incredible, to better than therapy, I just want to say. To be able to connect with the partner that you're with energetically and telepathically and energetically, and learn how, you know, when we're doing this, we're not like actually learning anything new. We're just remembering and learning to tune into. We are tuning ourselves, like tuning ourselves to the instrument that we already are. You know, this Kundalini is already happening. We're just becoming aware of it. We're just opening mental capacities, right? This is like really making me feel like I'm gonna get a little bit sad about this. Okay, you know what? I'm not gonna change it. We're just gonna go with it. You probably can't hear it that much anyway. Let's turn it up so you can, because then we'll have this experience together. Okay, so a little intro of me. I just gave you one of my Kundalini initiations, so you have to come back for more. I got lots of stories. I can't give them to you all in one video. Right now, a little feng shui moment. You are in my room. This is currently my room. I am hanging out with my folks, my kids and I, and it's a joyful time, and my sister, and just family unification, energy attention to is really part of our awakening journey, recognizing all the pieces that we are connected to, and like sort of tending to those, because they do represent inner connectivity, the family within ourselves. We get this beautiful outpicturing of that, and I know that can be a little hard to consider sometimes, because sometimes we have most of our biggest issues and triggering things and difficulties are with our family or with our blood. Even if you have good external like niceties, there's always the rub against, because that's the nature of it. It's the closest cells to the soul, if you will. It's the aspects that make up who we are. And so when we get in close contact with them, that creative nature, that Kundalini, gets stimulated and activated and pushed on and questioned. Are you ready for more? And so that's the discomfort, is, are you ready for more? Are you ready to expand? Are you ready for these cells to become one also? And the oneness is just the deep love, like not the surface love, like the real deep love. Like we felt all the hard things and we still like each other. In fact, that is what makes us close. So this, what I was saying, like where I'm at, it's a little peek also into my reality, but in this room, so walk into the right closest corner is the travel helpful people corner of your house and any room in your house. So I've been recently re-feng shuiing this space because it helps my life force to move, because feng shui is really just how the Kundalini works in the environment. So I've been feeling into, and these areas really do affect us subconsciously and psychically. And as Sabrina, Rewilding with Sabrina, said so beautifully, I was just watching some of her videos, go check her out, she's amazing. She was saying, oh, we're going to start becoming more aware of how connected we are to each other in this next cycle. And I really felt that Thanks for that insight, sister. Like, Pluto is making us deeply aware, Aquarius, of each other, of the interconnectedness. And with Aquarius, there's this like electric quality. So again, that is the tuning us to the electrics of the body, the magnetic electrics in the body too, and becoming aware of that interconnectedness of the lines between us. Woo! Thanks you too for this great background music. So anyway, we're in my friend helpful people and travel corner, and of course helpful people can be friends, your family, your community. They should be, like, hopefully you have people around you like that, and some of us don't. And so if not, you can enhance your helpful people, travel corner too. So just like a really quick peek at what I have here, because maybe you can get an idea. And some of this stuff was naturally here, and I just was like, that's perfect. This dresser used to belong to my grandparents, who I do have photos of them on my wall over there. So it was in their house for a long time, and I have some beautiful memories of being there. And I don't have a lot of memories of my grandfather because he passed when I was young, but I do remember him playing with my ponytails and the smell of him, and that this dresser was in the bedroom. And so in the corner here, and both of my grandparents have passed, and I love them, and I think they're some of my guides. Anyway, so their piece of furniture is here, and so I honor them and request their guidance in my life by putting this in the helpful people corner. And of course, travel, I wouldn't mind to astral travel to meet you all also, is sort of a message here for me. So if that resonates with you, I also have a drum here, which represents the shamanic energy to me. And so I would like always the support of the shamanic realms, as that is something that I tread. And so the drum is also locally made to here, so tuning into the land energies that are around me, and let me travel to them psychically, and let me receive the guidance and help, please. Like the story is here. And I also have an image of Italy back here, which my son's father's family is Italian, and so I would like always the support of that family. So I put that here energetically to be in prayer about that. I have a suitcase because I want to actually go somewhere. That's my overnight bag, and water is a really great element to have in this corner. So I've got a nice water picture over there. And then this is cool. Underneath, well, really quick, I've got a silver box, and there's lots of good things about having a silver box in your travel helpful people place, because silver is one of the colors in the box. You can put people's names or things that you would like to bless you or help you, or you want to connect with them, and you want to, basically it's a prayer box. You're like, please be on my side, like I'm thinking of you and putting the intention. It's not a manipulative thing. It's like a thank you so much if you could help me out. But I also have this tote of leather, which I'm going to get out today and talk about with the Wood Dragon stuff. I have this leather. This is some leather my mom gifted to me. I was sort of seeing these wings when I looked at a couple of these. I also have some pieces of wood over here, and one of them just kind of looks like a dragon to me. So I'm going to play with this and see if I can, do something with the wings or something, and make a wood dragon as a project. See if my kid wants to make one, because I collect driftwood everywhere, and actually the wood is sort of like pushed a little toward the middle, and the well, I think wood is also good here too, in this corner, yeah, water and wood, but also the middle section likes wood. So I was going to kind of ponder that here, especially today, because I request the support of this elemental presence of the Wood Dragon, of the life force, I ask that I'm in alignment with myself in that life force energy. And can I please be my own friend? Can I travel with that within me? You know, so our house can be like a prayerful space to help us with this. Anyway, I thought I needed a wood dragon because I don't have one. I do have my water dragon little teacup. And, I love this. This was a beautiful gift. And this is to drink that water dragon energy. And that's also Kundalini in a more emotional sense, I think, the water. But wood, embodied Kundalini. Ooh, our music is changing. Oh, I wanted to, we have a singer this time. Oh, I'm nothing but a dreamer. Okay. Okay, we're gonna make another random move here. Do you love this? Anyway, while this is shifting, I do want to speak about something else that Sabrina brought up in her video that I really appreciated. And she was kind of talking about those of us who've been sort of working in ourselves and doing the transformation work for a long time, like this is our time. And I have felt almost like, you know, this might sound weird to some of you, but on one level, this standing in a long line sort of energy, waiting for a specific point. And I know people say you shouldn't just, you know, wait around for stuff, but on one level, I feel like I have been kind of waiting around and, you know, like acquiring some amazing tools in the process, but it was like, I knew it wasn't totally the time for them yet, but for me it was. And so I've been getting really familiar with certain things over a period of time. But anyway, crystals is something that I feel like is part of a lot of people's treasure box right now. And maybe you've had crystals, and you know, if you work closely with crystals, like super blessed energy, super blessed portal right there to already have those tools at your access, because more and more people are becoming aware that these tools can be helpful during this time, and they will become even more helpful as we become aware of the life force energy in the world all around us. And holy cow, those crystals kind of light right up and start having conversations with you in your head. I know that might sound weird too, but anyway, so I've got these crystal cards. So I thought, and they've been blessed beautifully by Judy Hall, and she has some amazing work too online. I love her books. And one just plopped out, so I'm going to grab the Chariot. I'm just feeling this for the Wood Dragon, that a few cards wanted to come out. And actually, a couple of decks were sort of telling me the Wood Dragon energy is their time. So if you're working with some of these things, I'm just getting a hit that it's the time for these things. So interestingly, Chariot in this book, and Judy Hall's book, is the wound healing, and I heard wounded healer, and I heard Chiron, which is on the North Node right now, and it's basically like pushing us to heal wounds about, you know, who we are in this world and heal that Kundalini and become more accessible to that. It's very watery crystal. It's actually the last one in this book, which I find fascinating. Card number 50. I just turned 50, so that feels like somehow cool. But fives are cards of change, and because it's the end of this, it's also like the beginning of something. So this is like a graduation period. I have felt that. Of course, the baton is being passed from Pluto and Capricorn to Pluto and Aquarius. And Pluto does, Capricorn does come back for a little bit this year, and then by the US elections time, 2024, that energy is permanently shifted. So this whole time is guided by the Wood Dragon, and the Chariot energy is coming up to say, me too. This is all about deep physical emotional healing, transmuting negative energy, converting dis-ease to wellness. And I'm hearing like Aquarius, new technologies. Pluto is the rebirth planet. So death and rebirth, like things shedding and new things being born, like old paradigms shedding and new things being born, you know, like we go through in our awakening process, in the Kundalini process, many of these little deaths that are rebirths. So disease to wellness, I just heard that as like a frequency shift, an awareness shift, a paradigm shift. With its assistance, Sherry, right, you can recognize your greatest trauma is also your most profound gift. So that's Chiron energy too, which is very shamanic, and accept it with grace. Cherry Right re-energizes, heals, integrates dualities, heals past life disease carried into the present. Ooh, so this is like time to take control of vibrational change, creating links to higher realities. So if there's an underworld here, right, then there's overworlds too. There's both. So we visit one and we also get to like transition realms, if you will. And realms is a frequency. Realms is how we interact and what we're aware of. You can walk into a room and, you know, be sort of invisible and no one's really aware to you, and you might know people there, but if you guys never connected and made eye contact, it was as if you were never there. And that's just like buzzing at different frequencies, because sometimes we walk into a room and we immediately catch someone's eye. You know, that's like we're on the same vibe. You've heard people say that's true. So the Wood Dragon energy is this wound healing also, because the life force energy goes into all of our old wounds. I just feel like this one to come up here. Goes into all of the old wounds and flushes. And so there is a reemergence of some of this stuff, like a revisiting, and it's for the healing, it's for the up leveling, it's for the initiation. So just a little like tidbit on initiations, which is a very Six of Swords. I never found any more music here. In the tarot, the Six of Swords is your initiatory passage. So you cross through the 5 and you get to the 6. And of course, this year, 2024, is an 8 year. 8 is the sideways infinity, right? This is a year of infinite expression. Those dualities, they meet in the middle. And you can like go through a portal there, if you will, at the middle of the figure 8. That's what my mentor Almeen would say, is in the middle of the infinity loop is a portal. Some guys are like, yeah, it's crazy. She's talking crazy. Yes, I am. This is crazy. Uranus, Aquarius energy is crazy. You know, it's the wild us. It's the unexpected. It's the, again, thank you, YouTube, for your great no copyright music that we got going on. I have no idea what this is. It says for live streaming. So here we are. This is a recording, but it is what it is. So anyway, the crystals. This is kind of fun. The other energies I'm really feeling, because, you know, we have mystical creatures like coming in to bring their presence. One of them being the dragon. Wow, this is really like boogieing down. Gonna have some fun, right? I'm feeling the fairies, like otherworldly, other realm, and the fairies are, you know, they're very full of energy. They actually are attracted to and come out for like the full moons. You hear these stories, right? They love trees. Trees are high vibrational. They can be very good helpers, as I'm in the helper corner. So I felt them wanting to come out. Maybe that's like too loud. Okay. I probably should just dub some music on later, but this is just how it happened. Okay. Fairies. I'm feeling ya. There's one. Let's get a couple. 8 of Autumn. Let's see. We got someone that looks kind of like a mother figure and daughter, like teaching some sewing or something. This is an educational energy. It's almost like going back to school or excelling in craftsman, and I'm hearing more excelling in your craftsmanship, unless you're doing something right now that you completely don't like, then finding what is harmonizing with you is definitely part of this dragon energy, like embodying the life force. What does it take for you to embody it? Do you need to shift what you're doing? Or do you, do you just need to go deeper into what you're doing? That's kind of the piece. We're doing the wound healing will reveal some of that, because we can't always know when we're being informed by, trapped emotions. So that's why I work with emotion code and body code, and do like, woo, okay, there's 2 more. Do releasing of those, because, and it's not clearing. Clearing isn't really the right word. Releasing means they were not moving through. You were not being the instrument. There was a block, there was a stagnation. So the emotion code work, which is working with your subconscious mind and muscle testing, helps to release the little like trap things by bringing your conscious attention to the spot. That's all it really takes for it to, so it's detecting. It's like a detective faculty skill that you can learn too. Emotion code is out there on the web. You can get the chart very easily. You just have to trust yourself enough to muscle test. I'm happy to show you how to do that, and or do it for you, or do it with you, and that's part of what working with me is all about. Okay, fairies, we got 3 of autumn. We got another autumn there. And autumn is the physicals. That is the wood element I'm feeling. It's the manifest form. And it also can be finances, but that's the abundance energy, which again is the dragon, is the Kundalini, is the flow. So we've got 8 of autumn, which is working or deepening the work or finding the right work. And then 3 of autumn is doing that in a team. So that would be like 3 of pentacles in the tarot. So like the teamwork. And Aquarius is definitely like, you're not alone in this. Like we have to come together. It's no point for you to do it all by yourself. Like we're better together. And then the siren in the song goes off. We're better together. It helps you to be better at what you're doing. This also says being compensated for your talents. So the flow being there, the fluidity. And then Princess of Spring. So that would be, spring is air, is the wands element in the tarot. So like the page of wands, this new idea, new insights. Going after dreams, do something that expands your horizons, let creativity take flight. So again, like that's why I'm playing a little bit with the, and I should be trying to do this now, but I think I'm gonna really have to, you guys are gonna have to come back and, well, this leather really needs to be worked and massaged because it's really stiff. I have some other leather that's softer, but I think for wings, this is probably right. I just think like poking the hole is going to be tricky. Anyway, I don't want to make this video too much longer, but I just want to show you a few more things, and then I'll do some crafting. If you want to talk about that, then let me know. I used to make magic wands. I love working with driftwood and natural elements and like metals and leathers and things like that. So I will do nothing as a project for a while, and then like something else will be like, do me, like do this project. Or somebody will request it. Like we used to make orgonite. I say we, one of my previous divine partners, and I would make this orgonite. And during the time we were already working with crystals and copper, and so I just picked up wood one day and wrapped it around, and like voila, wand. Oh, that's so funny. This was the top card that I had out for my own reading, and I shuffled the cards as you saw, and the same card came out. So gathering your tribe, Aquarius, and Pluto in Aquarius, like Pluto is going to show us also where the wounding is around that and transform that. Boy, this really hit me hard today because I do have my Chiron in Aquarius's house in my natural chart with Aries ruling it. And so there's some deep personal wounds for me around friendships. Unfortunately, like I love people, I love friends. When I was young, I had lots of friends. it seemed like all the people in my school were my friends, and I grew up in a small town, so and I just love people. So I was always doing things with the kids in my neighborhood, like selling things or having like a green area party or whatever, and it just seemed natural and fun to me. And I found a trauma for myself when my family moved and I was in middle school, and I lost all that, and I moved to a different state, and didn't have the connection. I was disconnected. The connection was severed. And this is just one time in my life when connection to the bigger whole that I was around was severed. And I do know that these are initiations for me to learn how to find myself. And this is what I needed. This is what I required for my own soul development, because I did kind of identify with the tribe a lot. You know, a group mind is beautiful, but what happens in a Kundalini awakening or an awakening is that original thought that you had was right. There's just another layer to it that you haven't seen yet. But in order to get there, you kind of have to break down everything around it. It's like husking the corn, but it's like you have to like break the paradigm a bit to allow for a bigger picture. You have to crack the Russian doll to let, you know, to get to the bigger one. You know, if we're on the inside, there's a bigger and bigger Russian doll. These are all layers of our consciousness that the Kundalini is helping push through. That's why like all this wave movement is awesome for it, because we've been sort of like really stiff in our personalities, and in the awakening we are more animated. We are more full of life. Like this energy fills us all the way down to the tips of our fingers, and that's part of like the sensuality of this energy too, and why it's often associated with sexual energy, because Kundalini is this sensual nature. It is like our ability to flow and move with life and, you know, fully get into the scene. And sometimes that feels weird, but hey, welcome Aquarius. So I hope you guys are having a good time. This is going a little bit longer than I would have, you know, put out there in my mind, but then again, like, I'm having a good time, and I feel like some good information is coming through, and we're having like a fabulous no copyright YouTube music experience. I don't know if you guys can even hear it. You have to let me know. I just hate it when I'm yelling over it, you know? Okay, I'm also feeling yoga really coming in hard this year. Like, for me, I've been doing yoga since the early 2000s, so about 20 years, about 21 years. And at the beginning of doing yoga, it was almost like it was still a secret a bit. It was like, there were some Bikram studios, and that's all I remember. It was like the only thing, the first thing. And sure, there were little mom and pop little community center yoga school or yoga classes, which I found because I eventually taught at those. But it was still kind of like just at the edge of the weird time. Like if our parents practiced yoga, they were really weird. But so I went and studied in India, and when I came back, I just felt like all this excitement for what I knew, but there was like, it was so fragile. I just felt like a lot of people just weren't ready for doing yoga nidra or talking about Kundalini or doing any of that stuff. It was just like so far. This was just like body movement and sweating. So that was my personal journey began to, I did teach, and I taught a lot. I mean, I taught some Kundalini classes, but I really had only just a couple people in class at that time. And it just like, that's the only people that really cared. And over the past few years, I've seen a surge of like yoga nidra classes and Kundalini, and like it's becoming more mainstream, and people are starting to understand and really feel it. So I do feel like I got this little jump on it. And anyway, yoga, I'm actually back teaching the studio, and I haven't taught since my second son was born, like 10 years, even though I taught like 12 years before that. For a whole 12 years, I'm like, I'm back in the studio, like something is happening, like the energy has shifted, and yoga is very helpful. This is one of the main things that I used, and to even become aware of life force energy and Kundalini is my yoga practice. Like it is like one of the biggest keys that has supported me, is having a regular practice and deepening into some of the other things that yoga offers beyond the poses, like mantra practice and yoga nidra practice and different tantric teachings, which Kundalini is a tantric teaching. So welcome to my Tantra channel. Tantra is not just sex, it is Kundalini Life-force, and it is the awareness of it in your whole life and in your room. So anyway, I have the yantra cards that were made by a beautiful sister who I've had the opportunity to work with and meet, Sarah Tomlinson, and she does these yantra painting and drawing classes. She spent a lot of time studying in India and learning the sacred art, and she's an amazing woman. She does amazing retreats, and I got to do a big yantra we did with flowers and chalk and do mantra around it with her, and it was just exquisite. So if you get the chance, and she has an awesome oracle card deck, Yantra Bliss Oracle. And anyway, not every single card is a yantra. There's some other things that help you prepare for what the yantras have to offer, you know, like a circle, and what the circle stands for, or truth. You know, some of them are sacred space, and then we have some of the yantras in here, and I really do feel like these are going to be awesome tools for people to work with the energies this year. And yantra coupled with mantra, which is something I love to teach, is mantra. Woohoo! Maybe I should put some mantra on behind. It's so weird. The whole copyright thing. I mean, I understand it, but it's also weird because if it was my music, like, wouldn't you just want it to be played? And, you know, people are really obsessed with ownership and like being paid for it. And I do see a transformation coming with that in this next 20 years. That will evolve somehow because, you know, like the two things don't match up. Let's just say, this is how I'm saying it. Like, people make videos more than ever before, especially since the pandemic, and that's just going to continue in educational videos and retreats and workshops and classes. And we can't be so obsessed with the financial gain of our creations, which is the music part, or, you know, regulating all of that is really, really like crazy. And of course, artists should get compensated. I'm not saying that. But part of the compensation is also awareness of, especially if you're a new artist and you want your music, wouldn't you just want your music heard wherever, just so as many people could hear it, because then you expand as a person and your reach expands and your message expands and your influence expands and your life purpose gets, you know, spread. So something with that industry, and I don't know who's going to do it. I'm going to like put that out there for you. I feel like ideas are something that can be shared, because a lot of us are getting the ideas at the same time, and that, like, that's like a psychic job that people have, is bringing in ideas just to bring them into the stratosphere, if you will, and then those who are prepared to manifest that thing get aligned with that thought form, and then they do it, and we see it. And have you ever seen something and you're like, hey, I thought of that? Great, good job. Like, you thought of it, you helped think it in, and like now you get to use it. It's like you poofed it into thin air, you know. But the obsession with the money system, like, that's got to go more like quantum in this next 20 years somehow. I'm not really sure what the quantum financial system means, but to me it means that we start to become aware of the lines of energy that connect us, and how like our actual life force energy goes up, and we feel more alive if we are doing things that are in alignment with exchange of energy, conscious exchange of energy. And that's why there's a big karmic cleanup that happens in your awakening, is because you've maybe not been handling that energy right, and a lot of it is from lack of awareness, but then some of it you've been doing, and you've been, you know, aware of it somewhat. So when that's the case, then the karmic cleanup can be like a little thicker and like tar, and so starting to use your life force energy correctly is super, super important. Super important. And so that's part of what the Wood Dragon is bringing in, is like helping you embody more the truth of who you are. And don't beat yourself up if that's been you. I mean, it's definitely been me. It's been a hard trudge through some of this stuff that Pluto and Capricorn brought to us, and like some difficult journeys there. and let's honor those, but they were necessary in the returning of ourselves to ourselves. Some say it's the end of the Kali Yoga. I don't know, but there is an essence of that. That's true. That feels right. Is we're kind of to the end of the really unconscious self that's sort of sabotaging the self, and or the sabotaging humanity with the wounding that we have. But doing it, you know, largely unconsciously, but very money driven, which Capricorn does rule, you know, like long-term money. So a change in that going on, so that, yeah, the fluidity of this Kundalini as we become aware of it, and how, you know, we can actually tell if we're robbing someone else of their energy, and that's not going to sit well with us, because it's not, this is an alignment of what's actually feeding you, like, and what feeds you in a way that's also feeding them, because Aquarius helps us become aware that we're a bigger body. It's not just us, like, we're interconnected. We have to honor these connections for our own vitality and longevity. For our own vitality and longevity. And this song is like, I'm sorry, you guys. Next time I'll try to like find some cool mantra to play in the background. This is just like a funny, coming into the new moon energy. So this video is longer than I thought it was going to be. I just want to check in if there's anything else. Oh, I wanted to pick one of these yantras to go with this passage. I'm going to just talk about maybe what you can do for yourself during this Wood Dragon transition period. I kind of gave you a lot. I understand that. I hope that you just took what was interesting to you and left the rest. And maybe there's nuggets you'll come back to and listen to this. Ooh. So we have Mercury. Mercury is the intellect. Interesting. It also says spend time in nature. Listen to your body. Gain new understanding by listening to your body. Oh, perfect. I didn't even notice that. Yeah, so the dragon is, you're gaining new mystical wisdom by listening to your body, the wood. You'll learn more. You'll understand more. The muscle testing and self-talk and body talk work is going to get huger. I can definitely feel that as people understand that they can ask their own body on a lot of issues. Some issues are important medical issues. I was just at the hospital with my type 1 diabetic son this week. Sometimes you need the medical, like you just do, like he would have died. And until we understand that more, which this energy I feel like could bring in, is the new quantum healing stuff. But so right now we're in the crux. But what I was saying is listening to your body. Like, you can't fix everything at first with just like a decision in the moment. Like, sometimes you can if you're super powerful and you have like everything just aligns and you have a flash healing moment. I'm not saying it's impossible, but as we're on the journey of learning to listen to our body and learning what mental adjustments that we have to make in order to hold a higher frequency, this is the difficulty. And it's not overnight. It's not in just one day or one workshop or one weekend. This is a process of learning and educating ourselves in a new way. And because Pluto is guiding it, it is a trip to the underworld. It is it's letting some stuff die, letting some old paradigms die, some ways and understanding, letting some of the ego die. Of course, we need the ego to like know who we are, but there are like some beliefs and structures built around that do need to go. And some stuff in our closet that needs to go too, to make each corner of your space feel, you know, like, and work for you. With defragging our subconscious, which is a lot of the work that I do with people, is getting the old stuff out of there. That's what Yoga Nidra does too, is it unloads. But we also have to take the steps not only to unload the subconscious mind and all the stories and everything there, that's part of the healing, but also our environment and our space should mirror that. So that's why I love doing feng shui stuff with people. If I've never been in person with you at your house, then I can't work as deeply with you as I can when I'm there. And that is some really personal work. Like that's some really challenging work for people, is to have someone right there watching you do your stuff and like helping you identify what things are manifested externally. And a lot of people aren't ready for that, but I do feel like in the coming 20 years that will become more necessary, as we really want to speed this process up sometimes. Of course, Moldavite will help, but also allowing yourself to be watched is like activating a community Drosta point, if you will, like an assemblage point in the community, in somebody else that can mirror and like look at with you and create a triangulation in the space in your consciousness, so you actually can see your stuff. And our environment is definitely saying what our stuff is. So I'm excited for this Wood Dragon unveiling that, and I'm here to support in that. That is like my whole jam. So I've really been waiting for this time, guys. This has been a long time, and I've worked with amazing people along the way, and they're all like ready to be the next people too, and some of them are. Just amazing journey. And I will mention a lot of them and more videos to come, because I do feel like it's important to connect the community in now to our businesses. And you know, a lot of people do podcasts and bring each other on, and that's so awesome, and I love to do that, and I love to share in that way, and just more of that. I see more of that. Pluto helps us to see what our block is also, like as the great unveiler and the one who's coming to whoosh, pull the veil on the stuff. Yeah, like what are our blocks too? Connecting with people, like let's remove those and let's become more transparent. And that's what this Wood Dragon energy is helping to initiate. It's this initiation. So anyway, we are almost at an hour. If those of you have stayed this long, grazie. Like I super appreciate it. It's so bomb that you're here. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I've been doing a lot of coloring lately. It's been helping pass the time into this transition. Maybe that's been keeping my creative juices flowing a little bit, flow into some new projects. We'll see. I can't wait to hear from you and what you are doing. And if you need support at all in this time, please reach out to me. Let's have a session. Let's meet every month. Let's meet every week. You know, that's how I work. Or there's lots of videos to catch up on too. So, and more to come. I feel a lot more energy to come as this stream of the stars and the heavens and the energies are all lining up. Like this is affecting me. And knowing how that's affecting me has been my life's work. So we'll see what happens. Thank you for joining me, and I hope to see you again. If you loved this video and you thought it was informative, please share. Thanks.